How do you grow meaningful relationships with digital audiences? To start, seeing them as different micro audiences or tiers can help you really develop a proper dialogue with them, as well as taking those insights that you get and help you reimagine the products or services that you provide around that need as it evolves. In other words, the closer you are to your intended audience, the better your product will be. You can separate them into three distinct tiers. Tier 1 is your closest, warmest, happiest clients, contacts, or subscribers. These are the ones that many of whom you might know by name. You communicate with them frequently, they have opinions that you trust, and vice versa. If they're not customers, then you will know a lot about them, their market, their needs, and there's great potential to keep growing that interaction. You probably know who a lot of these individuals are already just by thinking about them. So tier 2 is your next best set of subscribers who are also happy, but perhaps you're in less frequent communication with them. You might not know them all by name or have a personal connection yet, but they're still a solid section of your audience, and many of them will grow into tier 1s over time. Then it's tier 3. Now, it's hard not to see this as the everybody else category, but just to keep things simple, this is the everybody else category. Many of them may not have had the opportunity to be contacted or to be nurtured by you yet, but they're still part of your addressable audience by virtue of who they are, their market, or their status. Remember that these aren't categories of importance, but rather about how close you are to them currently. This is the kind of system that can and must evolve over time, because the purpose of thinking in terms of all these micro audiences is to single out and to grow those tier 1s. That's really what you want to do. When they grow, you grow. Okay, so how do you do that? Here are 3 quick ways. Interview your tier 1 audience. Take the time to go into detail about their environment, their challenges, what they do. And really what you're doing is you're using that golden information as advice to directly improve what you do. It's also great for rapport building one-on-one. When creating content like videos or articles, create it only for your tier 1s. They're the ones you're speaking to, right? The great benefit to doing this is that it allows you to stay razor sharp focused with your content, and over time, your tier 2s and 3s will gravitate more closely to what you're saying and hop over to become tier 1s, or they'll self-select their way out of the conversation. Either way, you win. And lastly, don't sell to them. If they are already in your tier 1 or perhaps 2 or 3, they're there. They're already in your intended audience. You just need to keep them in the loop. Don't ruin it by asking for the sale, at least prematurely. The world doesn't work like that anymore. The beauty of this approach of micro audiences is that you get to take the closest, best advisors from your tier 1 audience, and they will advise you on where the challenges are and how you need to build your product or service as a response to that. All you need to do is to stay visible, is to keep talking to them, and they will come to you when the time is right.